Okay, so today I have to make my dog's, I'm sorry, this is bouncing. um, I have to make their dinner. So what I do is I usually give them some type of meat, chicken or fish, or if I'm frying up any ground beef or ground turkey, I take some out for them. Or sometimes I even buy them ground turkey and I'll fry it all up and then I'll separate it into little bags. But for now, I have nothing made, so I'm gonna make rice. I took out my rice already, brown rice, and then I have another pot for my mixed vegetables. I am using frozen peas and carrot mix, and I have a piece of fish that I'm gonna just fry up really quickly, and I'll give them a little bit of that mixed in with their kibble as well. So I will probably pause this, and when this starts to boil, I'll put it in and we'll get the fish ready as well. Okay, so this pan is starting to boil. So I'm gonna just take some of my brown rice. Try not to make too much because I like it to be fresh. So I'll make that. And that'll probably be for a couple of days worth. The back one is ready to boil soon. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open up my frozen vegetables and I'll put some in here. And this is gonna be enough for a couple of days. Again, I like to use my my mess here in the drawer, but I like to have enough for a couple of days, no more than that, because I just feel like it gets slimy. I don't know. I don't like eating things that are more than a couple days old, so I don't like them to eat it as well. Actually, I could put this in. It doesn't really need to boil, so we will just wait for that. Now while that's getting ready to boil, I'm going to see if I could move this camera. Move this way. Okay. All right. So this camera is not so, or I should say my holder doesn't move so well. I'm waiting for another one to come in. So I'm going to cut a piece of fish. It's in a sealed bag. It's frozen. It was frozen. Throw that bag in the sink. And then come back over here with it. See, so let's go back over here. That was actually easier than I thought. I know I should cover my rice. I don't, because I put more water than I'm going to need. And if I was going to use more rice, then I would, put more water as needed. So I'm going to get a pan out for the fish. I'm going to spray a little bit of olive oil in there just to help it from sticking. Get that nice and hot. Nothing on my fish. Actually, I'm gonna put something on the fish. I'm gonna spray it with a little bit of olive oil. I don't want to touch it again. Touch everything else. There we go. So I'm going to have that cooking. And while these vegetables boil, we'll have this sauteing a little while. And I will get back to you as soon as it's finished. Okay, I'm back. So the fish, it's actually tilapia. It's been cooking a little while here. So I'm just going to turn that off and let it sit there. I did get, you'll see, sorry about the bouncing, a couple of these containers that I like to keep my food in. They have snap-on cups. So I'm going to put it in there as soon as it finishes. But for now, I'm going to turn off my vegetables are done. So I'm just going to drain these quickly. Actually. Okay. So those are done, and let them cool down a little bit. This is still cooking the brown rice, and the fish is finished. So what I'm going to do with the fish is, I'm going to turn it off. I'm going to put it into the little glass dish here. I love these hex-clad pans. I tell you, they clean up really nice. They cook nice. They'll leave a little bit in here because what I leave in here is what I'm going to use for tonight's dinner for them. I don't give them too much, just enough to change the taste because, you know, they're going to have kibble, like I said. So I'll put this back here on the stove, and we're just waiting for the rice. Of course, the rice always takes the longest, especially brown rice. So while we're waiting for that, I filled this cup up, which I got, I think at the vet. It says Hills on it. I fill this up with kibble. Now I have 3 Shih Tzus, and what I do is, I'm going to move this over here. Their bowls are here. I split that between the 3 of them. I'll actually give the biggest one the most. Ricky, he's my larger of the 3. So let's go back over here. Okay, so I have that set up for when I mix my food. Put this kind of off. Sorry about that. I'm putting that to the side. Now I just have my vegetables and my rice. So if it depends on if I use all my vegetables or not. Whatever's left, I put in one of my small jars. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix the fish, the vegetables, and the rice in here. So it's a nice mixture, and then I'll put it on top of their food. So let's just put the rest of what's in here. I'm sorry if I'm out of the way here. Still learning my way around this camera and taping myself. So that's that. Put that in the sink. Okay. And then the vegetables, I'll touch that with the fishy. I'll just grab another one of these. And I could just put half of that in there, and then I'll put the rest in. This will be for tomorrow's meal. It's awfully hot, as you could see. And then this little strainer, I'll strain my rice. Drain my rice, and so that'll be for that. That's that. We're just going to wait for the rice and put a little bit of rice in here and mix it up, and then we'll put it on top of their food. I will cut again. Okay, I'm back. I've got my rice. I rinsed it off. So I'm just gonna throw about that much in there. Maybe a little bit more. They actually like the rice. Now, I did forget to mention that sometimes I do add lentils. I'll boil up some lentils or another bean. They do like that, but this little guy that's sitting there, I don't know if you can see him, he really, nobody wants to sit next to him at night after he's had beans. So I try not to give him too many beans because then we have that problem. But they do love them. So I just mixed it together. I'll put it on top of their kibble. I try to mix it in a little bit. My kids are probably watching this and saying, "You gotta be kidding." Actually, they know I do this. They see me doing it, but I think it still shocks them that I go to these lengths for my dogs. Anyway, so that's it. So I am going to pan this over here. I already have their water waiting. This keeps bouncing. I'm going to ring their dinner bell. I got one that's waiting over here already, so we'll see. Fix this. Brought his toys so I could trip over them. I'm going to set their food down after I ring the bell. So this one's for Ricky. And this one's for Bixby. And this one's for Miley. Go ahead, Miley. Go ahead, Rick. So I'll stand aside while they all go to their dinner. And that's it.